All right, it's been a couple Thursdays. I'm a little late here. But I try to when I think about doing this, I try to make sure I'm coming with something to say, not just, blabble or whatever the word is you want to use. But anyway, so I had something happen to me today, and it was, I'm sure it's happened to a lot of other people that are watching. If it has happened to you, damn, good luck. I mean, that's amazing. But anyways, I was going to work out, and I was at 7-Eleven. I needed a quick little electrolyte supplement or whatever. So I went to buy a drink, and I was trying to tap my debit card, and it kept saying terminated. And I was like, what the terminated, bro? I got money on there. At least I got $1 on that thing, you know what I mean? Or $2, whatever it was. But no, it didn't. It didn't. So I changed cards, boom, paid, got out of there. I was like, damn, I ain't got no money in my checking account, whatever, checking account. I see now that what happened was I forgot to change an amount of money I was going to pay to a credit card, right? So then now my account is wiped. Obviously, I have, not obviously, but I have some money that I can, change and put back in there now. So I have some money, right? But the funny thing about the money that I have to use to put in there is this money is also borrowed. It's kind of interesting because I think in my youth, I would have been more like, damn, I got no money. I'm stressing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going crazy about all this stuff. But now I think I realize that I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back on track, and eventually I'll have some money where it's not someone else's and it's mine, right? But it's also a lesson, right? Like we have, I wanted to do all this investing. I wanted to, and it's not really investing, bro. Like in the grand scheme of things, is you want to use the credit that's bestowed upon you because you have a sick credit, 3-digit credit score. That's so cool, right? And so you can now get these cards that have this no interest and blah 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 and all this other stuff like that. And now you can use them to invest in your so-called business, and investing in business. Like I love my business, but it's funny how you invest with someone else's money. But anyways, so I use that, and then boom, progressively, I'm getting these cool gadgets and all that good stuff in my business. And I would be lying to you if I said it did not help my business. It has. It is so amazing to have some of this technology. But then sometimes I sit back and think I could have probably done the same thing without that technology. Yeah, I probably could have. But because I was, thinking to be this coach, I got to have this time I got to have this freaking machine or whatever. Then I got myself in this situation. So now it's like, but it's not a thing where I think in younger times in life, I would have been stressing about, like, I don't have this money right now. How am I going to do this? I can't do all this, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, okay, well, I got work to do. And when I finish that work, the first thing on the list is to get rid of the so-called credit cards that are supposedly helping me to do certain things or gain these miles and points and things like that don't really matter at the end of the day, right? So it's a cool learning lesson, but it's also this moment where I can be like, oh, look at the growth where I'm not going to go crazy and pull my hair out because, first of all, I ain't got that much hair left. But second of all, it ain't that serious. Where we're going to figure out a way. You're going to put the work in. And if it's not, if it's quote unquote not going to be all right, it's still going to be all right because at the end of the day, it always is okay. And I've realized that through all these different trials and tribulations. So remind yourself of that, man. If it's ever a hard time, you're going through a lot, whatever it is, just remind yourself you're here still talking about that time to someone else or complaining to someone else about that time that you've had or the time you're going through now. Remember the time you went through years ago or last week and how you're still able to talk about the time you're going through now. So that's my message, man. Y'all have a good one.